Hey, this is the Change and Grow Wellness Show, the show for you, the busy professional who wants to live a healthier, happier life with increased energy and productivity. And I'm your host, Jackie Grant. And today we're talking about how to embrace changes in your life. And today I have Doris Law, who is an arts and crafts workshop leader. Hi, Doris.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the show. So, Doris, tell us a little bit about you and how you got to do what you're doing.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for having me here today, Jackie. I really appreciate that.
All right.
Okay. I started off as a teacher about 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And as most businesses, teaching takes a lot out of you physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I was 59, I was very tired.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, my mother had been diagnosed with vascular dementia. And I decided to bring my mother home with me rather than put her in a home. So looking after mum in that final year and knowing full well that I was burning out,
Yeah.
I decided to retire at 60. Through the year that I was 59, watching my mum leave me, but still being alive, was a bit of a wreck, not only for her, because she didn't know what was going on, and coming in and out of vascular dementia, it frightened her an awful lot. But it also took it out. I didn't realize how emotional it was going to be for me.
Sure.
And so within a couple of years, vascular dementia is very quick. And within a couple of years, she died. And by the time I was 60, like I said, I decided to step off and just take some time out to be with mum. So after she died, I took time out, obviously to mourn my mother,
Sure.
as we were very close, but also to try and rebuild myself. I'd lost who I was.
Sure.
I'd lost my physical being. I was very tired. Mentally, I had lost me because I put so much into mum.
Yeah, sure.
And emotionally, well, you can guess the emotions that were going up and down and up and down. So it took a year or so for me to decide, well, I didn't want to be one of those people at 60 that sat there and vegetated. So I thought, what am I going to do? And so I decided, well, I've always loved art throughout my life, no matter what I've done. I decided to set up a business, and I started off with children because I thought they're the people I know the most, 30 odd years of teaching.
Yeah, sure.
And then I thought, this is great, but I'm not getting the money I was as a teacher.
Sure.
So
Definitely.
I decided to use that as a sideline and go into adult arts and crafts. But all the experience of mum and all the experience I had of teaching children, one of my leads, I was a special needs coordinator, so I knew everything about special needs anyway. I decided, well, what about well-being, and looking at well-being of adults through arts and crafts. So it took me a while to decide what I wanted to do in arts and crafts. But then I thought, right, okay, Doris, step off and see how you go. And it's been a learning curve, should I say, since then. I hope that's
Yes.
answered your question.
It has definitely answered my
Roundabout for
question,
you.
Doris. So, Doris, tell me how you, I mean, okay, you left your job and then, you know, how did you come up with the arts and crafts? How did the idea manifest for you? What were you thinking? What went through your head? Because obviously you went through a death, you know, you then wanted to, you know, look at how you could change your life. How did that come about?
Um, I think because I didn't want, in my parents' generation, when you retired, you retired.
Sure.
Um, and you didn't do anything really. You didn't
Mm,
travel. You didn't um, carry on your learning career in something else. Um, so I thought I can't do that. I'd had 30 odd years of teaching at a very very fast pace.
mm,
Um, so I knew I wanted something that would engage me and use the skills that I already had to engage other people.
yeah,
Um, I had already, when I was at teaching college, I had you had to specialize in certain things, and I specialized um, in maths and ICT. But
yeah,
my sideline was art, and like I said, I'd always been very keen on art since I can't remember, way back when I was a child. And also, my mother was very artistic. She being a Greek, she knew how to embroider, how to crochet, how to knit. Her
yeah,
professional job was a tailor. So, I mean, people don't count that as art, but I
yeah,
do. I think it's
yeah.
very artistic, you
Of
know.
course it is.
And I thought, well, yeah, of course, and I thought, well, all the background that I already had, and also the experience of art that I already had, the fact that I'm very emotional about art. Um, I get very emotionally tied to it. If I see a painting that I really love, I stand there for hours and look at it, and
Hmm.
I look at color, and I look at form, and I look at what it's trying to say to me emotionally and mentally. And I thought, well, that's the kind of thing that I want to do 24 hours a day if I could get away with it. Um,
Brilliant.
but yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And I thought I already kept drawing logs and painting logs and things. And I thought, well, the next step is make a list of all the things that I can do,
Yeah.
make a list of all the skills that I can use in doing that, marry them together,
Mm,
and basically go out there and see what people wanted.
mm.
Because I could make a list of arts and craft workshops that I could do, but not everybody is interested in everything.
Yeah, sure.
So I just thought, well, just try it. You've got nothing to lose. I was already settled in the fact that if it didn't succeed, then I could go to art galleries. I want to do a master's. I could have gone back and done my master's. I wanted to travel, so I could. There were lots of things I could do.
Yeah,
So it wasn't kind of oh well, it's going to be everything. It's going to break me.
yeah,
It was have a go, Doris. You're only.
yeah,
I think I was 62. You're only 62. If you
yeah,
think the average age that a woman lives is 90, I've
yeah.
got, oh my God, 28 years to get out there and do something. Um, so I just thought, okay, go. And I did.
Yeah,
And then gradually I met people along the way who have trained me in different things and talked to me about different things. And I belong to a women's group, as you do, who support each other. Um, so gradually, I've got more and more confidence as I've grown, and
brilliant.
I've got to where I am today.
So how are you bringing in well-being in your arts and crafts? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, the first thing when you're doing an arts and crafts workshop, and the first thing people do when they talk to you is, I can't draw. I don't know how to mix colours. I don't know what to do here, right? And it's like they're bringing a negativity in before they've even tried, you know.
Yeah.
And we spend time talking, you know, and okay, what do you know? Okay, and then they tell me everything that they do know, and it's like, well, oh my god, you know lots already. What's the matter with, you know? And we just talk and we build confidence. And also, when I work with people, I work at a really some people pick things up really quickly, you know, some people don't. It takes them a while. So I work at individual pace, just like I used to do in the classroom. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you have a gifted child, sometimes you have a child with special needs, but they're both in the same room at the same time and they're both doing the same thing. You just have to change for each person individually. So making people feel relaxed, helping them to talk about anything and everything that they want to talk about. So it's a confidential, safe place to talk, helping them to express what they have inside into the workshop that we're doing. It could be anything, you know, but let's see what you've got inside. Let's express it in what you're learning to do. And then also, you know, at the end of the workshop, I know lots of people do this, but I do an evaluation. And part of the evaluation, I always put on there, what are you taking away and how are you going to use it?
Yeah.
And then they write that down. And as they're leaving, I say to them, don't forget what you told me. You're going to be taking this away and you're going to be using it. So please feel free to come onto my Facebook page and let me know. Put on photographs, just drop me a line. If you don't feel that you can do that, I always make sure they have my mobile number. Drop me a line on my mobile. Ask me questions if you want to, because I don't charge for anything like that, you know. Or if you need to be told what to do again, I'll send you a sheet. Don't worry about that. So it makes them feel as if they've known me for 10 years rather than 5 minutes. You know? So I try to make them feel that they're important to me, which they are. I mean, if people, if you are, what's the word I'm looking for? If people pay you money, then you owe them. You know, not only do you owe them a skill, you owe them for what they learn and how they feel during and after the workshop.
Sure.
And you owe them by following them up afterwards. You know, how are you doing? How are things? I've got lots of friends now. You know, oh, I'm doing fine. I haven't done another workshop, but I'm going to be doing one. So great, you know.
Yeah.
So I make people feel like they're worth something.
So do you think that the well-being part, because, you know, it's kind of taken people into their creativity. So do you find that it's really good with people's kind of self-care because it's something outside of what they normally do? And it brings them into their creative part that they might not be using on a day-to-day basis. And then it kind of relieves stress. It, you know, brings about fun, happiness, you know, all those kind of things in terms of self-care and well-being. Do you find that that happens?
Definitely. As a teacher, I used to do brain gym. Do you know about brain gym?
Oh, yeah.
It's a kind of a different way that I used to get children to use different parts of their brains,
Yeah.
Using exercises and verbal and, you know, verbal exercises as well as physical. And
Sure.
that's the kind of thing I use with adults too. You know, it's kind of releasing the fact, the knowledge that the artistic side is a different side to the mathematical side of the brain, and that they both have to be used in balance with well-being, you know. So it's kind of letting people know about that, but also it's to do with their health as well. I mean, if you look at the papers recently over the last couple of years, doctors have diagnosed, do some art or some craft rather than me giving you a pill.
Yes.
Because the pill won't do as much for you as the art or craft will. And not only, you know, you're not just looking at the different sides of the brain, you're not only looking at the skills of the art or the craft that you're learning, you're also looking at social skills and people sitting there and listening to you because they have the same want or need that you have. So you're kind of blanketed and comforted by that. And it's not just, I'm not just saying that in my workshops, it should be for everyone. You know, if they want to sit at home and knit, find another knitter, a friend of yours, you know, or go to a knitting class where there are other knitters, go to a library where they have, you know, small groups of knitters or a free club, whatever, to be with people who have the same like as you, you know, and that way it's kind of giving you that need, that want that you have to be satisfied, you know, and you don't feel as bad anymore, you know, and you walk out of wherever you are with more positivity in you, calm.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very, very important, especially in our lives today when, you know, we've got social media, we've got TV, we've got the internet. It's very, very fast. You know, we need to step off and relax.
Definitely. And I mean, you know, like we was talking about, that it's that well-being part, because, you know, even when I do with my coaching with clients, creativity is one of the things that we look at, because, you know, you've got your career, you've got your health, you've got your spirituality, you've got, you know, whether you're going to go and do another course or whatever you're going to do. But that creativity part is always generally lacking in most people. And they forget that that is part of your whole well-being, is to tap into whatever your creative side is. You know, so doing arts and crafts is one of that way to actually you know, feel that then. So Doris, tell us a little bit about what arts and crafts you actually do.
Oh, for the next half hour, Jackie.
No, not for the next half hour.
I do a huge range of different arts and crafts. And what I mean, people can go to my Facebook page to find out what I do. But the thing about it that I do is that I provide all the materials, all the tutoring, all the equipment, so that they don't have to have done it at home before.
Yeah.
You know, just come along and everything is here, you know, even down to aprons and gloves if it's a messy thing. And they sit there. The first thing we do is we have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever, and we chat. And then we look at what we've got and how we're going to use it. And then we get into the workshop. And people, you know, the feedback I've had is, I didn't realize it was so easy. You know, and I said, well, it's because you're working with other people here that are doing the same thing at the same level as you, you know, and that's what it is. And I've done even complicated workshops, like I do stained glass windows.
Oh, brilliant.
And it uses dangerous tools, you know, like men's tools. And
Ben's
shouldn't be
tools.
saying that. You know, yeah, big tools. And people, when they come in, they are frightened, you know.
Mm.
But once they start working at it and realizing, you know, how easy things are, they think, oh, you know, I use a big cutter for the stained glass. So that, you know, the people that have come in and used the cutter and said, oh, I could use my husband's drill now if I wanted to.
Oh, wow.
I don't feel so frightened. You know what I mean? If I can use this, I can use that. So
Brilliant.
it's really good to see that, and a lot of my customers are women. I do have men, but the majority of my customers are women. So it's like giving them that confidence to go out and try something else because of something they've learnt, you know, a skill that they've learnt within the workshop.
Sure.
And it's so nice to see when customers come in, you know, and they're really bow-backed and looking at the floor and kind of, you know, talking downwards. And yet when they leave, their heads are lifted. They have more confidence. They're looking you in the eyes, which I always used to demand from my pupils. Don't look at the floor. Look at me when you're talking to me, you know. So having that talking to me and looking at me in the eyes and having a smile on their face, you know, and a willingness to try something else, you know, well, I'm going to go home and try this, or I'm going to go home and yes, that's, you know, that's what it's all about. Try something different that you've never learned before. You know, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Brilliant. Come and have a go. Even if you come once, just come and have a go. You know, and see what you can learn and what you can transfer, and that's what it's all about. You know.
Brilliant. That's great.
But like I said, arts and crafts workshops. You know.
That's great. I mean, it's really great that, like, you know, you're also building people's confidence as a result of them coming to your workshops. Oh, have I lost her? How have I lost her? Oh, Doris. Oh, no, I haven't lost Doris. Oh, Doris, there you are. You're still here. I was thinking, has she disappeared? That's okay. So, yeah, so what I was saying, it's really good that, you know, not only are people being able to have something that they take away from the workshop, but they're taking away more than you would normally take away in terms of confidence, self-esteem, and all that as a result of doing a workshop. So it's really interesting. So Doris, I would just want to take you back a bit, right? Because, you know, some of our listeners might be interested in the fact that you did actually start your business at like 60. And, you know, what would you tell someone that is thinking, you know, because, you know, some people even to the point of thinking, you know, they might have retired and they might be thinking, you know, I'm just not going to do anything, you know. What would you say to someone that's thinking, oh yeah, I might start a business, or, you know, rather than, you know, thinking that, you know, my time's up in terms of working?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll give you my phone number and say, talk to me. I'll tell you if you're up or not. And then I would say, right, the first things that I would do is to say, okay, list all your skills, okay? And it could be skills from anything. I listed my skills. Before I was a teacher, I was an accountant. So I listed my skills from accountancy, you know? And before that, I had skills from when I was, you know, a teenager, upwards, really. I mean, you have skills as a child, but you haven't practiced them as much as when you're a late teenager onwards. So I listed all my skills. Then list all the likes that you have, not just like, oh, I like I like food, I like going to the cinema, but likes that you do. So not hobbies, but things that you enjoy doing. Okay. And then think, okay, so I've got all my skills and I've got all the things that, I like doing. What would I like to do with them? And it's so easy to set yourself up. I mean, I didn't have any business skills whatsoever. And I just thought, well, what would be the easiest thing for me to do to set up? Well, I knew that Facebook was very popular. So I just set up very small on Facebook. And I started, by just putting on there things that I liked doing, it's mini workshops, and inviting people to come along. And as long as they paid for my materials, I was quite happy. And from those people, I learnt, and I still do, even now. What do you think I did well? But what do you think needs to be improved?
Yeah.
And I slowly, even I did a workshop yesterday, and one of the feedbacks I got, I've taken on board, and my next workshop, which is tomorrow, I'm going to be changing my workshop a little bit so it covers that skill. So you learn from other people what you're good at, what you're not so good at, and what you need to improve.
Yeah.
Meet up, whether you're a man or you're a woman, meet up with other small business owners. And there are plenty of societies to look up and pop along to. And just listen to, I spent a long time listening to other people, not just to what they did, but how they got there.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much from that. I don't think 60, or my real retirement age is 66. I only retired from teaching at 60.
Yeah.
I don't think even 66 is old. And I
Yeah.
think by the time you get to my age, at 60 at the time, 62, I just thought, I have so many things to offer, so many things that other people might want to learn.
Yeah.
Have a go.
Yeah.
All that can happen, the worst thing that can happen to you is nobody's interested.
Yeah.
So what? You either like me and you go, okay, let's try something else and see if that succeeds. Let's try something else, until you get to where you're going to get. Or you think, well, I haven't lost anything. I'll go and do something else.
Exactly.
Don't put thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds into it. Just start small.
Yeah.
Work your way through and
Brilliant.
enjoy it.
Right.
Enjoy it. We're older now. We're at the age of we haven't got that 50 years in front of us to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So keep going till you get it right. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. No matter what you do, you'll be fine.
Brilliant.
I love it.
Great. So, Doris, where can people find you? Your website and everything.
I got my card with a little prompt on it.
Yeah.
They can find me on Facebook, Doris Cook Inspired Artworks Classes. They can find me on Instagram at Inspired Artworks Classes. I've got an email, dorislaw54@sky.com. But the most important thing is my mobile. You can phone me on my mobile and talk to me. 07584570 542, and just chat and say, what have you got, Doris? This is what I'd like to do. And then we'll sort something out.
Brilliant. That's great, Doris. So thanks so much for having you on the show. What final words have you got for my audience?
Final words. I think no matter what your age, if you're in a small business, never, ever, ever think you're alone. There's always someone out there who can help you. So I think heartfelt, thank you very much, Jackie, because you've helped me with my first podcast.
Brilliant.
So that's a skill that I have learned, and it's given me confidence to try it a bit more. Just never ever give up. If you feel alone, find a group of people that can support you.
Brilliant. That's great. Thank you so much, Doris. It's been great having you on and finding out all about arts and crafts and how it can help with your well-being, your self-confidence, self-esteem, and make you feel absolutely amazing once you've left Doris. So make sure that you go over and check out Doris's Facebook page, get in contact with her, just give her a call. She doesn't mind. Okay. So take care, guys, and I will see you next week on the show.